The views expressed, opinions given, and any communication made between the hosts and guests of What Are You Afraid of Horror and Paranormal Show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Para-X Radio, EMC Network, or all services that play this show. The hosts and services are not responsible for the actions of their guests, and the original rights of all intellectual property is retained by the creator, and all work is used with either permission or Creative Commons license. The show is for entertainment purposes only.
Quality warning. This podcast often records in the field to gather the best in paranormal materia from witnesses. Often, we cannot control the quality of sound in this environment, such as you may hear distortions or perhaps the occasional moaning. But then again, we're not about control, are we?
Embrace the chaos.
Phil, it's my ears that really make the whole zombie thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you gotta have good fox ears if you're gonna go on a zombie walk.
You have to good fox ears.
Come on over. Check this out. This is great.
Doctor
yeah, we are in Lansdale, and strange things are afoot. I mean, Phil, is there something scary behind me right now?
Yeah, there is. I think it's a plague doctor.
It's a
dancing
plague doctor.
All
right, we've got a new Facebook meme. For next Halloween.
Dancing plague
This
doctor.
is awesome. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think anyone's joined us on Facebook yet, but I'm sure they will. But we've got the video for later. So, Phil, did you have fun tonight?
Oh, I had a great time, man.
Yeah.
Zombie Walk.
It was Zombie Walk Lansdale.
Zombie Walk.
I know, my hair is a little bit of a mess.
Zombie Walk Lansdale. And you got all painted up for the festivities?
I did a bit.
You did?
You know, I didn't want to do the gray makeup. I just wanted a little blood. I'm a fresh zombie.
I like it. Yeah.
You know, I just got killed. Fresh killed.
Yeah.
That's what I am. I'm
fresh. So you're not a corpse rotting zombie.
Right.
You haven't been in the grave very long.
No,
or
and
maybe not at all, right?
No, exactly. I just got bit.
Okay.
I turned.
So you haven't even been buried. You're just
you've
been dead like 30 minutes or something.
Right. I haven't. You know, I turned and then I just got hungry for flesh.
I wasn't sure how elaborate they actually were willing to do.
No, they just honestly, we walked in line and they were like, "Take your glasses off, pull your hair back, and close your eyes. Spray, done." You know, that's.
What if you wanted to do like the whole like shebang with the rotting makeup and everything?
You had to bring your own.
Yeah, bring your own.
Yeah, they were not. I mean, they
were very. People, right?
We saw many people there were, and none of them. I mean, it's not like people know how to do makeup.
Yeah.
So, but I wore my fox ears. You know, I had my cane for a second. I can show the folks at home. This is actually my cane, by the way. I have neuropathy from chemo, but I'll demonstrate for the people online. See, Jasper Bark likes it. And you see, I'm doing the cane because it's like, I don't know to let it go.
You gotta, You toted it around in life, and you're gonna drag it behind you in death.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of cool. I think it humanizes the character. Oh, and the fox ears.
Fox ears, yeah.
Right.
You know what? You can't bite the big one without having fox ears on.
No, it's true. Whatever I was doing, I was having fox ears. I got bit by a zombie. I decided to die with the fox ears. Maybe I bled out.
Right.
You know, that happens. You get bit by a zombie in the neck. They bite a jugular. You bleed out. And then you become a zombie like 3 minutes later. Right. Quick zombie. That's what happened to me. Mm-hmm. I was quickly zombified.
And I had the best of intentions coming with my mask and my hat.
Right.
But the wind kind of put the damper on that.
It was
I couldn't
cold.
wear the hat. And I figured, if I can't wear the hat, then The mask is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, you were fine.
I mean, you walk around with it.
You were the victim.
I was.
We were all chasing after you.
Right.
Fresh meat.
That's right.
But
I was the victim. I ran.
We're in Comic Zen in Lansdale, PA, for Zombie Walk night in Lansdale, and we walked. We were out there.
Way bigger than I expected.
God, so many people.
It was like I expected seriously, like maybe a handful of people, maybe like
you
20.
didn't know. See, I knew it was going to be
20
a big
people,
event.
maybe 15 to 20 people. No.
How many people do you think were out there, hon? Did you see?
Easily.
It was like there were two sides of the street filled with people.
150, 200. I'm going to guess.
And they had a hearse parade.
Oh, that was awesome.
And now they're doing like a thriller thing, and they've got a zombie obstacle course. Now, my father-in-law, he's a bit stuffy. He's a bit stiff, right? And they were going over to...
Hopefully he won't listen to this.
Well, you see, if he wasn't stiff and stuffy, he would listen to it. Oh, God, but people who know him are going to tell him... Okay, well, anyway, they're over at Round Guys tonight, and I said... And he usually, hates traffic, he hates commotion, he hates people, and when he heard the parking lots were out, it was even worse.
Typical middle-aged behavior,
And I said, they're doing a zombie obstacle course at Round Guys, and I expected this harumph. Oh, that's going to be awful. That's going to mess up our night. And instead he goes, yeah, I know. I love it.
Really?
I ran it last year. It's really fun. So he's probably over.
He did it?
He did it last year.
Really?
So he's probably over having a couple of beers, and he's going to run the zombie obstacle. I wish we were there for that. Yeah.
Well, maybe when we get done, you can go over.
We can go over and see if he's going to run the zombie obstacle course. Yeah.
You know what? You can't do a zombie obstacle without a couple beers. You need to have at least a couple drinks or a couple beers.
Right. I mean, see, if you have beer, you don't need a very elaborate obstacle course. You just need a 2-drink minimum to run it.
Yeah. 2-drink minimum, right?
Right, yeah. You have 2 drinks, it's like a...
But you don't want to get drunk either, because it'll be a disaster trying to do an obstacle course drunk.
Right, well, that's where I got my practice shambling as a zombie, from vodka.
Right.
I just channeled the vodka. Should have done some method acting and just drank the vodka first.
I was going to say, maybe you should have just bought like a water bottle for Deer Park.
Pre-zombie gaming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is episode 66, Zombie Walk.
Zombie Walk.
Zombie Walk. Brains.
Can you believe 66?
Oh, God, I know. It was quite a crazy Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
I'm sad it's over.
Yeah, I'm too.
I am sad.
I am too. But you know what? That's part of the magic.
Yeah.
But Halloween lives in the hearts of all scary boys and girls.
Yes, it does. It does. All scary boys and girls.
Right.
And as my friend would say, November 1st, the bloom is off the rose. And he also asked me, a couple times, maybe about a week or so before Halloween, he goes, Phil, my friend Ryan, he goes, Phil,
okay,
what is, you know what the, I'm trying to think exactly how he worded it. What is the best thing about November 1st?
Okay.
And I said, I have no idea. He's like, nothing.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay. And then he asked me again 2 days later, Phil, what is the best thing? I said, nothing. And he's like, you got it.
Yep.
So,
you learned.
So, yeah.
You have been taught.
Yes, I have been taught. Yes.
But you know what? It's
He's fanatical about Halloween. So.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the month. I didn't watch as many horror movies as I wanted to.
I know. I think like a day or two before Halloween, you said, "Oh, I still have 5 to go through."
Yeah, I didn't.
And I was like, "Oh, man, good luck with that."
Never really got to them.
Yeah.
I did finally get to see Dawn of the Dead again, the original. Yeah. So I saw that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I watched a bunch of the Tales from the Dark Side episodes.
Okay.
Some of them are good. Some of them are not so good.
Right.
I mean, what are you going to do? It's a variety show.
We got the whole series.
Yeah, I did. It's not closed captioning, which sucks. I need closed captioning at the time, but it was fun.
There's an episode in season 1 that has Brent Spiner.
So we are at Comic Zen. I'm handing my wife cash. Usually she's the one that hands me cash.
She just came, took it, and left.
She just came, took it, and left. Which is
I like
reverse.
cash.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. She's out studying.
She didn't even have to ask. She just came and took it.
But to warn people on Facebook, we are live, so there's going to be some noise, and on the show, one of our on locations. So, what was your favorite part about our October content?
Okay.
What was your favorite thing that we did?
I would have to say, I really did enjoy. I really did enjoy Gettysburg.
The Gettysburg that you liked.
Yeah. Because we got to interview Mark Nesbitt.
Yeah.
And it was just cool going there and seeing him. I've never met him before.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And we interviewed him face to face.
We did. He was sitting with us. We had the video. I'm still working on it, but we had the video.
And I think that was really cool. I mean, it was great with the other interviews too, Lloyd Kaufman and
but it was neat to
Weidman,
be in Gettysburg.
But to actually be there, and I enjoyed the heck out of interviewing them. But we did over Skype. We weren't face to face with them, but with Mark we were.
We were in his shop. It's a great shop.
In the shop in Gettysburg.
And we got video of that. I know a lot of technical difficulties, but we did it. And I mean, we went down there, and Gettysburg's just such a great place to.
But we are going to hang out with Lloyd, though.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to go up there in January or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I mentioned it to him, and we'll see what he's busy.
Yeah,
he's real busy.
January, February, or something. Maybe we can get something.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. We'll talk to him and figure it out. We'll just take the train up.
Hi, I'm Tim Wagner, Bram Stoker award-winning author, and you're listening to What Are You Afraid Of? Horror and Paranormal Show.
The Soldier Customer. Submitted by Bill Goff, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and read by David Walton. About 10 years ago, while visiting the town of Gettysburg in Pennsylvania, we came upon a lovely store selling books and articles dealing with war reproductions and other artifacts from the American Civil War. The store was located in the downtown area with many other stores that sold antiques and other war memorabilia. The owner was an interesting fellow, and I knew Gettysburg had a reputation for ghost stories. So I casually asked the owner if he had seen any ghosts. The owner said he'd not seen any ghosts at that particular location, but he used to own a store several blocks away. He'd been closing up for the night one evening and went downstairs to the basement to turn the lights off. To his surprise, he found a Confederate soldier dressed in grey regalia sitting at the bottom of the stairs as if waiting for the call of battle. He called out to the spirit, but the ghost, as if trapped in another time, didn't respond. The ghost then got up, carrying his musket, as if going off to join the July battle raging on the fields above. The owner followed the soldier into another room with no windows and doors, and to his surprise, the ghost soldier faded away.
Are you haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers?
Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid Of? Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para X Radio and at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com.
What Are You Afraid Of on Para X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction. We are ready to scare you.
Para X.
Hi, I'm David Walton, and I drop whatever I'm doing to read whatever Fox and Phil demand of me. My digital, as opposed to ectoplasmic alter ego, is called Brendan Shawland, who regularly plays guitar and sings in a virtual world. Brendan has a website, David doesn't. Bandcamp sales figures would suggest that Brendan's music is decidedly niche. If you want to be in the vanguard of support as Brendan heads towards global domination, just put Brendan Shawland in your favourite search engine, and you'll find his website very close to the top. You'll see what the human looks like, and you can check out the Listen to a Song page to access Brendan's unwillingly private world of creative output.
I'm Jenna Valadez with the Basement Files. Tune in Friday nights, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Para X Radio Network.
We got more zombies coming in.
More zombies.
You guys want to come and look at the camera? Zombies are coming in. You know that we got a great seat. You guys can come on.
Oh, what's going on?
We are What Are You Afraid Of? Horror and Paranormal Show. We broadcast out of here once in a while. We're on Para X Radio, EMC Network, and all major podcast services. And we're on video if you want to wave to the folks or do your little zombie walk behind. You know, I saw her outfit and I thought it was really clever because she was like somebody who was working at CVS and got bit at CVS.
Yeah.
So she's
on her way to work or at work or something, you know.
Yeah, do you have a zombie story to tell us? And how did you become a zombie?
I was attacked.
Okay, she was attacked.
While I was at work.
Okay, and considering that you're wearing a photo development pin, I'm assuming this was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever seen iZombie?
Yeah, actually.
Kind of like that. I've been kind of living under the radar.
Have you seen iZombie?
No.
They're intelligent zombies that can hide. They eat brains, and the one girl one became a zombie. She's also a detective, I think, but she's the main character. You guys seen iZombie?
I never seen that. I have to check that out.
So I've been dyeing the hair, but I'm not really doing the spray tan thing.
Right. You're the CVS store manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
These guys.
I like the makeup. It's very good.
Yeah, it's very good. Did you do that yourself?
Yes, I did. I tried to. I asked them if they would help me here, and then they said, due to the number of people, they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, and all they did was like put you through an assembly line, spray, blood, done. So yeah, it wasn't very. The lady who used to do it had a makeup shop, and she did it every year, and she really got into it. And then she moved out to California and took her shop with her to Hollywood. So it's a shame because Delia was great. But this was our first zombie walk. You guys had fun?
Yes, this was my first one. I tried to do.
There you go. Well, it was a fun
Never
night.
done it before. This is my first time.
I mean, you thought there was only going to be like 5 people.
I really did. I thought there was like 15, 20 people. I didn't expect the volume of people that I was like, whoa. When I went in the back of that parking lot and saw that crowd of people, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that crowd grew pretty quickly in about half an hour.
Yeah, I got here early. I was actually the first person to get makeup.
Were you?
Because
What time did you get here?
I've been here since 3, but I went in line at 6:30.
Okay.
You know, and I was the first. I'm like, get it done. I got to go do the promotion.
Right.
So I've been walking around town, as a zombie all day. Asking people, they were like, "Oh, is there an event going on? This is my Friday zombie."
They didn't know. People didn't know that.
Yeah, this is. Oh, there's some sort of event.
This is my typical Friday night.
Yeah.
During the walk, all the cars were getting backed up.
Yeah.
I turned to her.
Started honking at each other because people weren't going, so they were gawking.
Right.
So I turned to her and I said, "Sorry, honey, I'm going to be late. There's a bunch of zombies walking."
Wonderful. When can you say that? Unless you live on a street with a couple of bars.
That's right.
That's true.
That's like I said, we had I practiced shambling because of vodka. So that's my joke.
You should have been holding a vodka bottle.
Yeah, I had my cane, but yeah. No, I asked Tom if he thought it would be weird if a zombie would be like sipping a cup of coffee and. But we are What Are You Afraid of? Horror and Paranormal Show, and we are with Mr. and Mrs. Zombie working on this, and I died with my fox ears on.
Yes, you did.
If
you're gonna die, you gotta do it with the fox ears.
Do it with the fox ears. So, I got my throat turned out.
The only thing that would have been better than that is the tail.
Right, I should have done the tail. It got eaten.
The tail got eaten. That's why.
I was at a furry convention and my stuff got.
Well, thanks for.
Yeah, thanks guys for coming over.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me give you a card. You can check out the show. We are on we're on Parax. We also have recorded shows. We just did a great interview with Katrina Weidman from Paranormal Lockdown, Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma Entertainment, and we had one of the guys, Jonathan Ilios, on from the Halloween Baking Championship on Food Network.
Wow.
But we love the outfits, guys. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Sure.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good week.
You too.
And those were the zombies.
You're the zombies.
The nice couple, the zombies. Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Zombie.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Zombie. That's going to be a short story. Mr. and Mrs. Zombie.
Nice.
And I did a great interview with Max Booth III, very controversial figure. He is the first person to say the Emperor has no clothes. Like, if there's a bad publisher, or someone's pulling some crap, or it's fraud, or exploiting people, he opens his mouth and he doesn't care about conflict or about backlash. He just launches in there and does what he does. He's the owner and creator, him and Laurie Michelle, his significant other, of Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing. And they were with us in the beginning. They published my book, Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality, or Searching for Andy Kaufman. They published numerous short stories of mine, and he wants an anthology with a novella in it from me next year.
Nice.
And I did a quick little interview with him.
Okay.
You know, talk about what he's up to.
Right.
And I'll play that real quick now.
Your source for everything paranormal, Para X.
On What Are You Afraid of? Horror and Paranormal Show, we're out to support the indie publishers, those struggling to make it in a market that's struggling against them. We've worked with many indie publishers as authors and as show hosts, and on this episode, we are speaking to Max Booth III. Max is an old friend, editor, and just a complete jerk sometimes. Max, how are you?
I am good. When was the last time we've seen each other? Was it Louisiana?
It would have to be Louisiana. Yeah. That was World Horror Con in New Orleans. And I remember we did the Vampire and Race Tour that night. It was you, me, and Lori.
Wasn't it a ghost tour, not a vampire one?
It was both or something. I think they just...
Vampire ghosts?
Vampire, ghosts, zombies, werewolves, and rice, drunks, you know, that kind of thing. At least that's what it turned into.
Yeah, and every stop, they just handed you a hurricane, if I recall.
Yeah, and just said a vampire supposedly lived here. His name was Bob. That was...
I mean, the drunker you got, the more believable it all seems.
Yeah. No, it did, and we definitely tried that. So, you know, it's just to let everybody know, if you do the Vampire and Rice Tour in New Orleans, make sure to have a few hurricanes on the way, and it's just so much more fun. But we were down there with Lori Michelle, who is your partner in many things.
Yes.
And she was on the show as part of our Women in Horror series that we did last summer. It was great having her on. And we plan we plan to bring her back.
We should do an episode with both of us.
Definitely. Oh, we so can. That would be great. Maybe we'll all have some hurricanes and talk about vampires of New Orleans.
That would be great.
So, you have been involving yourself in the podcast world yourself of late. How is that going?
Exhausting like anything.
Right, it really is. You're preaching to the choir here.
But, you know, I kind of dig it. Because it's so much more different than writing or editing. It's nice to just take a break from reading something to go and edit a podcast, because you can almost just close your eyes half the time and just listen.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, it is nice because you can just bring somebody on and ask them a couple of questions and let them run the show, you know.
And publishing and editing and writing, it's lonely a lot, and you don't realize how long you go without audibly talking to somebody.
That's very true. It's definitely a very one-sided effort, and we only get comments back after the person's read the piece, which can take some time. I hadn't considered that. So you're doing 2 podcast projects at the moment.
Well, right now I'm doing 1. I'm trying to do 2. The one I've been doing since April is called Castle Rock Radio. It's a Stephen King podcast. Every episode we do one every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, and we just talk about different books Stephen King has written in a comedic fashion. The second one I'm trying to get off the ground is called Spooky Time, and it would be released every morning, 5 days a week, and it would just be news in the whole genre.
Okay, so just horror genre news every morning. And how do you collect that news? Like, what's I find the biggest problem I have with doing the show is not recording it. It's making sure we have new and interesting content on every episode for our listeners. So how are you going to pull off 20 minutes of horror a day?
Oh, I mean, you have to be skilled in Googling. You have to be subscribed to the right websites, just frequent them all, check out social media, see who has a new book out. Mm-hmm. There's always a good controversy to talk about in this crazy genre as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of politics in horror, as we keep encountering ourselves, and we're trying very hard to stay neutral.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't be opposed to doing brief interviews with those in the genre as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's really where your goal is is that you can always find a new horror author somewhere who would love to talk about themselves in their book.
Yeah, I mean, think of it like, I don't know, like The Daily Show, but with the whole genre.
Right. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. And how do you record these shows? What do you use?
I use GarageBand and Skype.
Okay. All right. And then you edit it through GarageBand?
Yes.
Yeah, we use Audacity on here. And now, are they going to be live? They're going to be recorded?
I'll most likely record them in the AM when I get home from milk and immediately edit them and post them.
Oh, I see. So, and where are they going to be at? Where can we find them at?
Well, they're not happening until we reach a stretch goal on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
But once we do, I'll be posting them on iTunes, Google Play, Stitch, all the typical places.
Mm-hmm. How's the Patreon going?
I'm all about halfway to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
What, 220, I think, right now, and I'm not going to do the podcast until we reach 400.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't immediately begin doing this podcast because I knew it was going to be a hell of a lot of time, and plus the bandwidth is going to add up pretty fast. So I gave myself this goal, like, okay, I'll do it if we can make this stretch goal.
Mm-hmm. So you're using Libsyn to record the podcast like we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to have a good amount of storage space on Libsyn. We had to increase ours when we jumped up bits to 128 4 times a month, so I understand.
Yeah, I recently had to upgrade because we have been increasing the length of the Castle Rock Radio podcast. We began just doing like the short stories. Now we're tackling the books and the movies, and those episodes are adding up.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you can talk about Stephen King for a couple of years?
I could talk about Stephen King until the end of time.
Right. And you just did an article for Lit Reactor on the new book that he's put out.
Sleeping Beauties?
Yeah, or was it, he put out one with, I think it's his grandson, or is this, it's
his son, yeah,
okay.
Sleeping Beauties with Owen King?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I posted anything about it. I haven't read the book yet, so I have I did an interview with Owen King.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was a brief interview, only 5 questions for the website. He seems like a nice guy, busy guy.
Right, that's pretty impressive. How did you get a hold of him for that?
I contacted him through social media.
Mm-hmm. Like this, and that's what you do.
Yeah, I just took a shot, and he replied a day later and said, yeah, okay. I don't have a lot of time, but I could do a few questions.
And he knows where his market is. He knows where to build a market at as an indie press with indie horror, because that's where it's at right now. It really is. I mean, I know that we're suffering the loss of a lot of publishers right now, and you've stayed in there. You created Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing a few years ago, and I remember because we used to chat at night, and I was telling you about a story idea I had about Andy Kaufman, about what it's like to die, and about how reality destroys itself as you're dying. And you sort of jumped on board and said, send it to me. And 120,000 words later, still building steam, but here we are with Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality, or Searching for Andy Kaufman. It's an acquired taste. It is. I
think my immediate response was, who was Andy Kaufman?
Yeah, I had to educate you a little bit there.
And then I spent a long night watching every video he'd ever been associated with.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, oh wait, I do know who Andy Kaufman is, because I used to watch that movie all the time when I was a kid.
He was in a couple movies, like
I meant the Man on the Moon movie.
Oh yeah, with Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
And that's what really turned me on to him too, when I realized how a fascinating character he was. How's PMMP doing?
Me and saying that they'll not shutting down anytime soon. We'll gradually increasing profit. We no longer are in the black.
Okay.
We'll no longer adding half my paycheck into the PMMP account to buy books.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, I mean, I would consider that not a total disaster.
Right. No, that sounds like you're doing better than a lot of the indie publishers out there, and we're seeing a lot of them die off. I mean, even now, it's like we've seen the death of Sam Hain. We've seen the end of Dark Fuse. which I'm sure was a little bit frustrating to you.
I'll piss on little graves.
Yeah, we lamented for you when we saw them go, and I complained about it for your sake. And what book had you done with Dark Views?
The Nightly Disease.
And how's that doing?
Well, I don't know what it sold with them at all, because I was never sent a royalty statement.
Oh, man. And then you went ahead and put the book up as a self-published thing on Amazon?
Yeah, I published it through PMMP's name last month, and it sold about, 50 copies so far.
Well, that's pretty good. That's very good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, especially considering it's been out since last December.
Right. It as I discovered, as I keep trying to tell people, stay in for the long run. It takes a while to build up a momentum when you're an indie press, and you have to have some sort of promotional device, otherwise no one's going to know you exist.
Right, definitely.
So you don't believe in ghosts?
I know. I don't.
So what happens when we die?
Nothing.
A nihilist. Does that mean you give up on life because there's nothing after, or...
No, I don't give up on life. I'm enjoying the ride while it lasts.
And that's very Andy Kaufman-like of you, actually, very zen.
Well, in case you didn't realize it, I am Andy Kaufman.
I knew that.
Yeah.
That's why I exposed you with my book.
I thought I could throw you off by pretending not to know who he was.
And finally, you understand the reason for my interview. Max Booth III is Andy Kaufman. I knew it. It's been a long road, very convoluted and unnecessary, but you've been exposed, sir.
On a ghost podcast.
On a ghost podcast, which is exactly how Andy would have done it. Okay, so, what's in the future of Max Booth and PMMP?
A bunch of the same old, releasing new books, writing new books. Now we're doing these podcasts. Next month we're releasing Joe McKinney's new collection. Ooh. That should be pretty exciting.
So I was hoping
next year.
Yeah, so hoping you'd drop somebody's name. That's good.
Yeah, well, coming out with Joe McKinney's new book. We have John C. Fostel's new book coming out next month.
Yeah, John's an old friend of the show, and he's been on many times.
John is one of the greatest writers no one seems to know about.
Oh, jeez, he's somewhere. He just got heart pain and turned over in his New York apartment. Yeah.
When I discovered his novel, when Phil sent me Dead Men, it was one of the best books I'd ever read at the time. His writing is so strong.
Yeah, he is.
I would be completely surprised if I didn't see his name on a list of the greatest Phil writers who have lived 20 years from now.
And probably so. And if you'll notice, the show has sponsored 3 reading events. We helped out in New York, and then we did the one in Philly, and then we just did the one at Fort Mifflin, and John Foster has read it all 3. Because he's just so powerful and good.
I have not met John yet, but I would love to.
Oh, he's great. He's really quite cool, and of course he does our annual Christmas Dickens shows with us every year.
Yeah.
So John will be back, and probably reading from another book from PMMP, I'm sure.
Yeah, the sequel to Dead Man is called Night Roads. That comes out pretty soon.
Okay, we'll get him back on the show and get him to do a little reading. Maybe we can talk to Joe and get him. Is now Joe's book new about zombies?
No, it's a collection of everything he's written that is not about zombies.
So it's a small anthology?
Yeah, there's like half of flash fiction.
Yeah. He's a great author, great sport, great cop, and his wife Tina's a remarkable baker.
Yeah. I've been to a few baseball games with him.
Yeah, actually.
Also coming out in 2018, I can talk about, we have Patrick Lacey's Bonesaw. And a new anthology called Lost Films, which is a sequel to Lost Signals. My website is talesfromthebooth.com, and you can tweet at me at GiveMeYourTeeth.
And what is the PMMP website where authors can find submission information?
Perpetualpublishing.com.
And we'll have links up for that on the show website at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com, where we often promote Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing. This is kind of one of our founders. And you can go there to find more information about their books, their upcoming podcasts, Max Booth's work, and the work of Laurie Michelle, which is very good in its own right. Well, thanks, Max, for being with us, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Oh, thank you, Fox. Have a great day.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing.
Caliburn Press, LLC is a Madison, Wisconsin-based publishing company owned and operated by Alan Ledden. Caliburn works with talented writers, artists, editors, and marketers throughout the United States, and you can find their books through their many imprints that include Damnation Books, Eternal Press, Maleferia Press, Ciento Sordida Publishing, and Spiro Publishing. Please visit their website at sites.google.com/site/Caliburn Press LLC/home, or Google Caliburn Press to check out their growing list of titles on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and any other place fine books are sold.
Mercy, a new horror medical thriller from author T. Fox Dunham, published by Bloodbound Books. Based on the author's horrific battle with a rare form of lymphoma that involved intense chemotherapy and radiation, Fox turns the horror of his experience into terror on the page.
William Saint is dying of cancer. On most days, death seems like a humane alternative to the treatment. Stricken with fever, William is rushed to Mercy, notorious as a place to send the sickest of the poor and uninsured to be forgotten, and finds the hospital in even worse condition than his previous visit.
Willie's memories faded. He grabbed his sack head of the scarecrow, picking at the exposed chicken wire to hold them in. However, the memories fell out of the holes in his face. They wormed and crawled from the leather flesh and the old clothing of the scarecrow, then squirmed and wiggled down his body.
The grounds are unkempt, the foundation is cracking, and like the wild mushrooms sprouting from the fissures of decay around it, something is growing inside the hospital. Something dark.
Fangoria gives Mercy 3.5 out of 4 skulls. Dunham has channeled his many brushes with the other side into the exquisitely rendered, lyrical, supernatural hospital thriller Mercy.
It's feeding on the sickness and sustaining itself on the staff, changing them, and now it wants Willie.
Come now, Mr. Saint. Just a little more of that sweet milk. So salty and so good. You won't miss it. And we ever do so like our delicacies here at Mercy Hospital.
Part medical horror, part supernatural suspense, Mercy is a hard-hitting fever dream of a novel. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Tim Wagner, author of The Way of All Flesh and Eat the Night. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores everywhere in both print and digital versions.
Life is an addiction.
Let go. Let it all burn.
That was a good interview.
Yeah, was it good? Was it good?
Yeah, it was a good little, quick little interview, but, wanted to get him on the show. He just did another book with Joe McKinney.
Okay.
Who's done a lot of great zombie. And we're talking about having Joe on the show next.
Right.
So, publishing is just, especially indie publishing, is such a dying field right now, because Lloyd Kaufman sang it to the hills,
Yeah.
He got on there, and there's another guy that doesn't, hold back.
No. Lloyd does not hold back. He pretty much came on and told it like it was.
Yeah, in the most vulgar terms.
Oh yeah. That was fine though. I mean,
of course,
it's. I don't really want to censor.
No, and we don't have to. It was a great show. It was probably one of our best, and Lloyd has been very supportive.
Yes.
He's been retweeting us. I think he told Stan Lee about us.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Stan Lee, I
don't know, but he was great. And we'll be seeing him again, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Katrina Weidman was incredible.
Oh, she was amazing. Yeah.
I know, yeah. It's just getting her on the show.
It was great having her on and interviewing doing. It was a great interview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was very powerful. They're playing part 2 on.
They both were 2 of my favorite interviews. I think not my favorite, but like
right.
I'm saying 2 of my favorite.
Right.
You know, like I just really enjoyed having them on, and you know, for the month of October, it was just a really good time.
We weren't. I mean, I've been talking to Katrina for 6 months now, trying to arrange a date, and I did not expect to get her in October. And then all of a sudden she said, you know what, I'm free now. And I think she was promoting this Destination America. Mm-hmm. And then she said, do you want to interview... She actually wanted to do it the day we got back from Gettysburg. I'm like, Katrina, I just can't. I'm sorry. There's no way. I'm exhausted. But, you know...
That would have been tough.
Yeah,
that would have been really tough.
It would have been tough. But we got her on. It was a great show. And they're playing part 2 of that interview on Parax Radio tonight. Still deciding what to do with the Lloyd Kaufman interview for Parax. Because that really wasn't a paranormal show. You know?
Yeah, but, you know, he is a horror guy, though.
Yeah, he is a horror guy, right.
So, it doesn't have to be paranormal. It can be, as long as it's horror related. He is a horror guy, you know?
Right.
I mean, he was pretty much a pioneer in the horror comedy
genre.
He
really was.
The horror comedy was pretty much almost unheard of when he started doing Toxic Avenger.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So... You know, he kind of created a genre in a way.
Yeah, he really did. And that genre is, like he said, has gone on to do other films, like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool was very much a traumatastic film.
It was. It really was.
Okay. My wife's giving me angry eyes. Sounds like she was waiting in line for a candy bar and couldn't get one.
Couldn't get a candy bar? No. That's not good.
I know.
Well, I know there's free candy over at the... There's free candy.
Yeah, might as
well. Oh, I thought you said you were going to free your candy bars. I figured I was going to say, but there is free candy down there.
Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but it's making me uncomfortable. So, that's just my instincts are saying no. Tom Capper is with us tonight at Comic Zen in Lansdale, PA for the Zombie Walk.
Hello, Tom.
Gotta thank Tim Hershey, by the way, for hosting us again. Come on down to the store. He's got... I mean, it's a great-looking store.
Yeah.
And
look at this place.
Yeah, there he goes.
I heard it's a really nice store. I don't know where I heard it, but I heard it.
I heard that, too.
Yeah. On What Are You Afraid of? Paranormal Show.
That's right. That's where you heard it.
So, Tom, something happened with you and Phil at Gettysburg. What happened?
All right, so we went down to Sachs Bridge. Remember when I took you out to Sachs Bridge?
That's right.
And of course, did you take a recorder with you? I know I had mine.
No, I had my camera.
Oh, that's right, you had your camera. That's what it was. Well, anyway, I took him to the bridge, Sachs Bridge, and took him to the other side where.
Okay.
And I told him about one of the people that was killed. Her body was burnt.
Right.
And I did get an EVP.
You did,
because remember I stopped talking, looked into the woods.
Yeah.
And I was telling about how her body was burnt.
Yeah.
When I looked into the woods, that's where I got the first EVP.
Really?
I said the guy burnt her body. When I looked into the woods, it was I got a big fire.
Okay.
As the response, and it was just the two of us that were in that spot.
Wow.
But you had those two kids that were on the bridge. Well, anyway, when we went back to the bridge, we were talking to those teenagers that tried to scare us, which was funny. By the way.
Yeah, they did.
They did pull it off, sort of, but almost.
Almost.
And we're talking, and one of the I didn't go through all my material because what I got kind of bothered me a little bit.
Okay.
One of the EVPs that I did get was kill them.
Okay. Oh wow.
Okay. And he thinks they were talking about you.
Okay. Yeah. Kill them. Yeah, but there was 4 or 5 of us there.
Well, it was just the 4 of us, me, you, and the 2 teenagers, or whatever they call it.
There was 3 of them.
Was there 3?
Right.
There was 3. Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, I got kill them now.
Wow.
So the ghosts were giving you commands, or
it was just actually they didn't exactly say them. It was kill him now.
So we're going to play those EVPs for you that Tom Capper recorded up in Gettysburg. And so they're not very loud, so you have to sort of decide for yourself. Now the first, apparently Phil is talking, and he pauses for a second. And in that pause in the background, in the sort of eerie sound, you can hear a voice saying, "Kill him." So judge for yourself.
I started thinking, that was a Farnsworth.
So the second EVP Tom recorded, Phil is talking about the Farnsworth house. And then he stops talking, and you can hear in the background, "Do it now," which was after the Kill Him EVP. So, judge for yourself. These were recorded in Gettysburg.
Well, let's hear it.
If you go down, make sure you go down with
Somebody
friends,
you trust, yeah.
somebody you can trust, just in case, because I don't know if they were talking about you or the other two kids, but it's just kind of funny that we're getting orders to kill
him or kill them, or yeah.
So there could have been something residual. I don't know. It's just that's the first time I ever got anything.
Could have been. Well, one thing I will say, I won't go down there anytime soon.
Well, it's just the first time I ever got anything like to kill anyone from the bridge. So it's kind of unnerving. I still have another 25 minutes to go through, but I kind of stopped after 45 minutes in because I'm getting stuff like kill them now.
Yeah. I remember those kids. There was 3 of them there, and one of them did the
backwards walk.
They did the backwards walk towards us, which he did very well, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that. He probably went about 5 miles an hour, which is pretty quick on the back.
They did a backwards walk. Wow. Oh, on his hands.
On his hands.
Wow.
Like the Exorcist down the steps.
Okay. Yeah.
Thing? Yeah. That's what he did.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You could have gotten a picture.
We didn't expect it. We were just walking. Right. And then he started doing it towards us really fast.
Yeah. I think he was trying to scare us, but it didn't work too well because it was like. My first instinct was to kick him, but
well, you wanted to go back and get your gun or something and scare them.
Yeah, I had all my reenacting gear with me.
Oh, so you mean your musket? I'm like, you're not talking about.
Oh no,
okay. I might cut that out. Yeah.
No. I just had my musket and my reenacting gear. You know, my uniform and my musket. And it's like,
I had to clarify that.
I wanted to scare him right off the bat and said, it doesn't shoot.
A non-functional gun.
Yeah, his musket. He's a reenactor for
It shoots blanks. It's everything it's useful for, just blanks.
Right. Okay. All right. That's good.
And then we were there. That was Gettysburg. We were there. When were we there? That was September.
That was September 21st.
September. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 23rd.
The 23rd. Yeah.
23rd, okay.
God, it was such a crazy.
I was going to say, I can't believe it's been that long already.
We really,
a month.
That was you had a lot of fun.
That was fun.
You were saying.
We had a good time, and then we walked around earlier that evening. And we had some beers.
Right, like my wife was basically, the deal was, if we're going to do that right after we go to North Carolina, then we do the ghost show, we do the paranormal stuff, and then as soon as that's done, I'm out, romantic weekend, wife time. So that's what happened with us.
Right, yeah.
With you guys. Sounds like you guys had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. it was a really good time, and you guys did too.
Oh yeah, we did. We had a very nice time. And Gettysburg is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the history is wonderful, and it's always nice to get down there once a year, especially for Halloween, because it really is ghost town.
Yeah.
I mean,
it really is.
There's a lot of great ghost stories.
There's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, just beautiful town.
Yeah.
It's nice to be living so close to it.
Wake up and take cover. Hurry about in your slumber. It's the dawn of the dead. Now hell is up and upon us. Can't trust no one. Your father or even mother, sisters or brothers, aunties, nephew, nieces or uncles, not even lovers, friends, associates or co-workers, all out to hurt you. Only thought on their mind is murder. Gotta try to survive in these times of tribulation. Prophesy within lines of biblical publication. It's the time of the end as nation rise against nation, hasten up against Asian, doctors all against patients. But now it doesn't matter the health or race you're in, cause the dead's taking over the people in place you live, men, women and children. It's survival of the fittest. How can it be survival when the dead is trying to kill us? Sounds like the contradiction depicting this here horrific scene. So I gotta be equipped to spit hits like a lyric machine. Wet up a zombie demon with hollow tips like a flash of heat. Let's make them squeamish and rush them like a blitzkrieg. Quick, you wanna mistreat this? I'll leave you anemic. Leave them heated a steaming pile of obese shit. That's the fertilizer remote you've been reduced to. Your stool, fecal matter, or just plain old doo-doo. Walking around stank, brain is decaying. Authentic found blank, bank, places you straying. Wandering souls with no control of your functions. Emotions and creatures with bottomless pits for stomachs. What's this? Trap? I ain't giving them just yet. Grab strap then bust it, bust quick shit. Ain't fucking with Dipset, but I create a little gap dip and then I'm set. Catch me if you can, like Simon Leonardo. I lead and I follow, and we'll both be seeing tomorrow, motherfucker. Running, pumping the shotgun into bad guys, but they rise, so we're dumping and running, but can't hide, cause they smell hot. Our flesh is what they dine on. Our lives have no prize MasterCard can buy, but now a shotgun, 1045. A revolver, say 959. A crossbow, 21079. A pair of New Balance running shoes, 89. 75 for a bulletproof raid vest. To save your chest, get two, you can pay less. $10 if you wanna beat them with vice grips, but your eye, skin, and life damn right's priceless. That's right, bitch. I ain't dying without a fight. From my cold dead fingers, you'll be primed to mic. This device that'll strike, dissect your height.
That was Dawn of the Dead by Peter Aldrich, featuring John Harman and David Williams.
Hi, this is Tim from Comic Zen. We're located at 301A West Main Street in Lansdale, right near the intersection with Susquehanna Avenue. We have new comics, old comics, graphic novels, including comics made just for kids, action figures, statues, comic supplies, board games, card games, and much more. We have a special order service for both comics and games, and we have a comic subscription service so you don't miss your monthly issues. So come to Comic Zen. Just don't upset the samurai ghost who haunts the store.
And guess what, kiddies? Foxy and Philly will be recording live from Comic Zen in Lansdale every first Friday of the month. So come down and see us at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, not then, because we will be recording live for the Philly Foxy Haunted Spooky Hour on ParaX Radio. And bring your ghost stories a little before or a little after, and we'll be glad to collect them at Comic Zen. Fridays, first Fridays, at Comic Zen. Comic Zen.
And now, we play you The Man's Guide to Costumes and the most common ways to get arrested from The Wish Mechanics. Stories of the Strange and Fantastic by horror author Daniel Braum. Check out his website at www.danielbraum.com.
5. Forgetting yourself. The processions merged and formed one crowd of dozens of people, all surrounding her. Their colors were so bright, vibrant, in sharp focus. The rest stop, everything seemed blurry, except for Francisca. She was a vision of how she was in life. Tall, thin, rugged, beautiful. All the pain of missing her returned and filled Ed's bones. He thought he would fall down. Her lips pursed, her face a mask of stoicism. Like she was just before they would have a fight. Like she was at the end. Ed expected her expression to turn to rage. "Eduardo," Francisca said. "Look at you. I'm so sorry." "Sorry? Sorry for what? I'm sorry about you." Ed wanted her to say she was sorry that we went wrong. Sorry for hitting you. Sorry for everything. For our whole lives not working out the way we knew it could have. "I'm sorry. You look terrible. Poison has spread through you." "Poison? The lizard? The bite?" "No. A poison much, much worse. Your soul is poison. You've forgotten yourself." "So I'm going to be with you." "No. Once you die, you're gone." "Then why? How are you here?" Ed turned to Miss Sugarskull. "I know," he said. "I get it now. You're here to tell me she's holding on to me or something, right?" "No," Miss Sugarskull said. "I forgave you long ago," Francisca said. "Today is the day I am here, the day we are here, to dance. I am sorry about us, though." "I'm sorry too, Fran. I never wanted it to end like that. I never wanted it to end at all. Eduardo dropped to his knees. He tried to lift himself, but he fell forward on his hands. All the painted faces gazed upon him. "So, we forgive each other," Ed said. "We worked it out. We get to be together now." "That's not how it works," Francisca said. She disappeared. The procession moved. Step after step, the skull-faced figures marched into the shadows of the cacti. Miss Sugarskull walked to the charger. "Where are you going?" Ed asked. "To party with your brother and sister? Maybe get a good night's sleep before the next one of you comes calling?" "Please, don't leave me here." "Here was where you were meant to go. You did what you had to do." "She said once you die, you're gone. Is that true?" "What do you think?" "I want to know who they all are. All the people." "Don't know. Other than that the walls are thin today. The lines blur today. But the time for that is almost gone." Miss Sugarskull closed the car door and drove back to the road. Ed thought about how he'd said after his release he'd go see his mom. He said he'd get a job, go back to the straight and narrow. He'd said a lot of things that he never made happen. A skeleton-faced figure moved in the shadows. It reached a bony hand towards him. "May I have this dance?" it said. Ed heard himself say, "I don't dance." He saw himself taking the bony hand, letting himself dance along with them all into the night. He knew he was very, very sick. He might die here on the asphalt. "Save me!" Ed yelled to Miss Sugarskull's departing car. She screeched to a halt and leaned out the window. "The most common way to get arrested is to forget yourself," Miss Sugarskull yelled over the hum of the motor. "Better hope a cop finds you in time." The skeleton's hands reached for him. "Dance with us," it said. "Are you coming?" "I don't dance," Ed said, out loud this time. But dancing with the figures in the shadows seemed like the most natural thing to do, and he yearned to move to the music of the night sounds. He wasn't ready to take off his costume, but wasn't sure how much longer he could hold on.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
Well, Phil, did you have fun tonight?
Oh, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I had
a lot of fun. You know, it was cold, and then we actually got into the zombie walk.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun.
I know you were really cold. You're like, I
was freezing. I was like,
I hope this starts soon because you're like, I'm freezing.
People weren't shambling, though.
Right, no. Well, some were.
Somewhere, but, you know, I think they should have... I think the people who organized it should have done a quick rehearsal, like shamble, moan, growl. I think it could have been a lot. Honestly, it was like March of Dimes. People were just walking and having fun. It's like, no, you gotta moan, you gotta shamble, you gotta reach out. And I was reaching out for people. It was a lot of fun. I was like grabbing stuff. And, you know, I mean, I got smacked a few times, but I'm used to that.
But all in all, it was a good night.
I'm glad you could come down.
Oh yeah,
great way to end our Halloween content.
That's right.
Got to thank everybody who helped.
Yeah, we had a lot of people.
We had a great number of downloads, you know, and the website's up at www.whatayouafraidofpodcast.com, where you can find those episodes. You know, we did 5 very long ones too. Like we're back to our normal three times a month, 58-minute schedule.
We had a lot of content.
Yeah, we did. And we got some great stuff coming up, you know. So please, if you're a fan, stay with us because the show's getting bigger. We're bringing bigger names on.
Yeah, don't leave just because Halloween's over. You know? Stick around.
We're gonna be telling ghost stories.
We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what it's all about. Keeping it going.
Keeping it going. Keeping it real. And actually keeping it ghost and fantasy.
That's right.
I'm so glad you could come out though. We had a great time.
Oh yeah, we did.
Well, I think we're wrapping it up. This is episode 66, Zombie Walk, recording from Comic Zen in Lansdale, PA. Check out the website at www.whatayouafraidofpodcast.com for expanded material, links to all the websites and content we talk about, our series of ghost stories recorded by our voice actors, you know, and leave us some messages. Tell us what's going on, and follow us on Twitter at PFWhatAfraidOf. Our Twitter following is doing very well, and that's where we put a lot of our content out.
Oh yeah.
Well,
great time, man. Great time.
We'll be back next week or a week after that. We'll see, but we'll be back with episode 67. This is episode 66, Zombie Walk, and I'm T. Fox Dunham,
and I'm Phil Thomas.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Sorry, honey, I'm going to be late. There's a bunch of zombies walking.
T. Fox Dunham lives in Philadelphia with his wife Allison. He's a lymphoma survivor, cancer patient, modern bard and historian. His first book, The Street Martyr, was published by Gutter Books. A major motion picture based on the book is being produced by Throughline Films. Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality or Searching for Andy Kaufman, a book about what it's like to be dying of cancer, was recently released from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, and Fox has a story in the Stargate anthology, Points of Origin, from MGM and Fandemonium Books. Mercy was recently released by Bloodbound Books. Fox is an active member of the Harvard Association. He's been published in hundreds of short stories and articles, and his motto is wrecking civilization one story at a time.
Phil Thomas resides in the suburbs of Philadelphia and is an author and filmmaker. His screenplays have been produced into feature films such as False Face and Always from Darkness that are available in major retailers such as Best Buy and Target, as well as availability on Netflix and Amazon On Demand.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.